Hello, and welcome to another teaching from TorahFamily.org. We are a family-based ministry that believes the whole Bible stands forever, that all of it is based in the Torah, and all of it promotes the Torah. Please visit us at TorahFamily.org for more teachings like this one. We hope this teaching helps you learn and grow in the faith. Men of Yahweh, Chapter 18. Excellence. We live in a world that always pulls at our time and attention. However, sometimes I believe we blame the world for things it has nothing to do with. Are you quick to pass the buck when it comes to not being who you know you can be? Rising above, more often than not, means rising above ourselves. Let's face it. Many times we can be our own worst enemy. While many of us know this and admit to it, we still do little or nothing about it. Or, at the very best, we drag our feet in trying to improve while making excuses the whole way through. That all being said, let's read a verse together. Colossians chapter 3, verse 23. Whatever you do, work at it with all your heart, as working for the Lord, not for men. Let's read that one more time, shall we? Whatever you do, work at it with all your heart, as working for the Lord, not for men. Now, while leaving this verse on the screen, I have to ask the question, do you do this? Can you honestly say that everything you do as if you are doing so unto Yahweh? Does the quality you present when the task is over meet the quality you would present to the King of Kings? If not, shouldn't it? My dad always said, if you're going to take the time to do something, do it right. However, our verse takes that a step further. It's saying, if you're going to do something, make it worthy of the king. That truly changes the perspective of how we should be doing things. Would you offer anything to the king that wasn't perfect? I mean, at least to the best of your ability? If you knew everything was going to be inspected by the king as if it was being given to him, how would you change what you do? That, my friend, is how we are to live our lives. We are to aim for perfection in everything. This can sound daunting at first. It can seem intimidating and overwhelming. However, it shouldn't. It should serve as the reminder of who we represent to the world around us. When those around you think of you, what do they think? What should they think? I'm talking about your coworkers, your family, your friends, your neighbors. I'm talking about people who know you at least a little to those who know you very well. No, I'm not talking about what they think of you because of your faith. Not at all. I'm talking about what they think of you in every other area of your life. Now, if you're anything like me, you're probably thinking, well, our faith should cover every area of our life. To which I would agree. However, that then begs the question, are we pursuing excellence in every area of our life? When people look at us or think of us, what should they be thinking? Are there areas in our life where we don't represent our Heavenly Father the way we should? I'm not talking about pleasing man. Nope, not at all. I'm talking about how we represent our Heavenly Father to people in every area of our life. In everything we are putting our hands to, are we representing Yahweh in the light He's worthy of? That question should make all of us stop and pause a moment. Sometimes we breeze through life so quickly that we don't even think twice about what we're doing. Maybe, just maybe, it's time we stop doing that. Let's look at another verse. Ecclesiastes chapter 9, verse 10. Whatever your hands find to do, do it with all your might. For in the grave, where you are going, there is neither working nor planning, nor knowledge nor wisdom. This life we've been given is our only opportunity to shine our light for Him. The moment we die, that opportunity is gone. We can't take this life for granted. We need to utilize every chance we have to let His light shine through our lives to those around us. That means everything we do should be done in excellence. It's in this that we must remember the enemy to the best isn't the worst. It's good enough. So what determines what's good enough? Is it perfection within us saying it's good enough? Or could it be our laziness that's deciding something is good enough? Let's face it, more times than not, we're tempted to say good enough out of laziness and not out of perfection. If that's what we're doing, can we say we're being good stewards of what He's given us? No, this isn't about having the best of everything. It's about treating everything you have as if it's the best. If we can't show ourselves faithful with what we have, how can we expect Yahweh to bless what we have or bless us with something different? The goal isn't to get nicer things here. The goal is to show ourselves faithful stewards with what He's given us. I've once heard it said, the happiest people may not have the best of everything, but they make the best of everything. So, do you? Whatever He's given you or allowed you to have, do you make the best of it? This isn't something that just happens overnight, and it's something we always have to maintain and grow in. Excellence in everything. Whatever we do, we should strive to make it noteworthy to all. We must always remember that we represent the Most High with our life. All of it. All of it. We've all been guilty at one point or another of taking on too much in our life. Taking on so much that we can't commit to excellence. And this is where we begin settling for less. In order to get more in our lives, we often allow that more to be of lesser quality. It's not that settling is sin. However, if we are to be like our Heavenly Father, when did He ever settle for less? When we begin to settle in one area of our life, the temptation is to start settling in other areas as well. It can be a vicious circle if we don't break the mold. It's a mold that's 100% mental. However, when we begin pursuing excellence in our life, we find that we need it in every area of our life. Every area. That, in turn, causes us to examine what's really needed in our life. Prioritizing then comes to the forefront and not some wishful thinking. The weeding process of eliminating things from our life suddenly takes on a prominent value. It's like with spring cleaning the house or the garage. How many times have we kept something during one spring cleaning, only to go until the next spring cleaning before we touch it again? Then we debate ourselves if we should keep it another year. However, we all know what a great feeling it is to clean the house. This is what we need to do with our life as a whole all the time. The more we keep our spiritual and physical house in order, the easier it is to pursue excellence in all we do. Again, This isn't something that happens overnight, and it's something that we always have to maintain as we grow in it. However, we have to choose to grow in it. It's not something that just happens out of nowhere. Some could say, nobody else around me is going to that extent, so why should I? Yet, that's all the more of a reason to do so. We want to stand up and out in everything we do. We don't want to blend in just because no one else around us is taking the high road. Is it easy? No. Can it be done? Yes. We have to train ourselves to break the old habits and start forming the ones that take us up the road and not down it. I remember when I was young and I first heard the song Piano Man by Billy Joel. The song is all about these people who are stuck in the humdrum of life and go to this bar to escape reality. The closing words to the last verse says, "And they sit at the bar and put bread in my jar and say, 'Man, what are you doing here?'" What are you doing here? Meaning what? Meaning, this guy is good. Why is he around here with us? That's a line I'm sure Joseph heard more than once in his lifetime. Regardless of where Joseph was, he made it a point to not let his surroundings determine his norm of life. In reading the story of Joseph, it doesn't take much to see that he pursued excellence in his life. Not just spiritually, but in every area. In fact, I have to think the dungeon he was in was not the nicest place to be. However, something tells me when he was placed in charge of it, it was cleaned up more than just a little. And please, stop comparing yourself to others. So what if someone else is already elevated to Pharaoh's side in your eyes? You have no idea what they went through to get there. Just because you're seeing them at that level now, remember, you didn't see them in the pit. You didn't see them as a slave being sold. You didn't see them all the years in prison. Please, consider the words Yeshua said to Peter. John 21, verse 20. Peter turned and saw the disciple whom Jesus loved was following them. This is the one who had leaned back against Jesus at the supper and had said, "Lord, who is going to betray you?" Verse 21. When Peter saw him, he asked, "Lord, what about him?" Verse 22. Jesus answered, "If I want him to remain alive until I return, what is that to you? You must follow me." The same applies to us just the same. Stop looking at others and focus on pursuing excellence in your life. In everything you do, do it unto Yahweh. Everything. Let me say that again. In everything you do, do it unto Yahweh. Everything. Don't let your surroundings, whatever they may be, determine how much you choose to walk in excellence. And no matter how much you love and respect your family and friends, don't let their standards be the gauge for yours. Pursue excellence in everything. Fight for it. Don't let anything deter you from pursuing a full life of excellence to our Heavenly Father. Don't let your surroundings or any person drag you back from choosing excellence in your life today. Don't be a thermometer. Be a thermostat that's always set to excellence. When people look at you, make them think, what are they doing here? Make them think, I want to be like that. But this doesn't just apply to us. Are we teaching our children to settle for less in their lives? When we give them a job to do we help them in aiming for excellence? Or do we assist them in fostering negligence and apathy in the same areas of their lives as we do ours? As the saying goes, the apple doesn't fall too far from the tree. How are we training our children? What are they seeing in us? Again, Colossians chapter 3. Whatever you do, work at it with all your heart, as working for the Lord, not for men. If you're serious about this, then I ask you to get a pen and paper and start writing out your weekly routines, habits, all the various things you do or should do. Nothing has to be in order on this list. Simply write down all you do or should be doing. Then, after you make a list, make 2 columns at the right side of that list. Title the first column, Good, and title the second column, Improve. It should look something like this. Start going down your list and grade yourself. Either it's good or needs improvement. And remember, if it's not at the level of presenting it before the king, then it needs to be improved. When things in our life are clean and in order, it gives such a great feeling. Some might say, but Steve, it's not going to stay that way. To which I agree. Like I said, life is something we have to maintain. And again, I'm talking in every area. There's a reason why every military seeks excellence from A to Z. Be all you can be in his army. Make excellence your goal in every area of your life. We hope you have enjoyed this teaching. Now, it's up to you to be a Berean and study it for yourself. That's the only way to grow. Until next time, Shalom.